How do the mechanics of your role playing game affect the world building? That's the real question. And think about this. Imagine if a long rest really was a long rest, meaning that you did 8 hours of good, and all of a sudden you were fully healed up again, ready to rock and roll. Levels of exhaustion are gone, diseases taken care of, poisons gone, just by spending 8.5 hours or 8 hours of resting, doing minimal work. How would that affect world building? How would it affect the people of the world? What would that look like? Also, maybe that's just something that adventurers get. So being an adventurer is something special. Are you the only adventurers in the world that can have access to that? Do normally people not level up at all? Is gaining levels differently? Is it more like solo leveling where you hit a max level, max capacity, and the ability to improve your powers actually increase over time? Mechanics are something that we gloss over when it comes to balancing. We'll say things like, well, in the real world, I could do this. Well, what about if it's not the real world and the mechanics are what say what you can and can't do? That would make that more interesting, which then makes the idea of initiative even more funny. And how does that really function if initiative was a thing? And then all of a sudden, the mechanics of the world actually give you things like the peasant catapults, where you line up a million peasants in a row and have them have an interaction with one another and launch it at a million miles an hour. Those are the fun kind of things to play with when you are dealing with a TTRPG. And it's food for thought. And you don't have to stick it one way or the other. You don't have to say mechanics make the world do this. It could be the mechanics work for adventurers, and adventurers are special. And that's kind of what I've always adhered to, is that in my world, adventuring is a thing. There are adventurers. Usually it's some magical thing that makes them adventurous, that makes them tougher, but that's just the game that I play. I should probably actually put my system online sometime so people can see the mechanics and how they really function, because it's nothing different than standard Dungeons and Dragons. It just gives it a theme. It lets people see why they're so strong or why they're so powerful or how adventurers are bigger and beefier and badder than the average person. There's a reason for it. But think about that. How do the mechanics influence your world building? Because they should. Or adventurers should just be special. Food for thought.